What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another NASCAR race review. Today's race, we had everything from beating and banging, short track tempers at the end of this race. Plenty of wrecks, big ones in this event, and a lot of fantastic racing, all collaborated into one, making it one of the best races I have seen this year. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into the race review. So, the first caution of this race would come out around lap number 8 for Ryan Newman, spinning out on the front stretch. He got a little bit loose, got sideways. He will bring the first caution out of this race. Then the second caution race come out for a competition yellow. And then the second competition caution, which for whatever reason I had two competition cautions in this race, would bring out the third caution of the race. And then we would go back racing. It would turn into a really good battle between Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott for the stage win. And coming off of the final corner of the checker flag, Chase Elliott holds off Ryan Blaney and scores his fourth stage win of the year and got his ninth playoff point of the year as well. We went back racing for a little while, and Chase Elliott took off with the race lead, but Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski got around him on the restart. Ryan Blaney, unfortunately, would be one of the first drivers who had a chance to win this race. He would be the first driver to fall into trouble. He would get loose coming off a turn, I believe it's turn number 2. He would get sideways and end up spinning out. Ty Dillon would actually come through and collateral and get into him. Ty was the only one who was up on the highest side because, let's be honest, Ty Dillon made a pretty big mistake there. He got up the track way too high because what he's probably thinking was that there was probably going to be a hole, but that gap ended up filling up, and Blaney's day and Ty Dillon's day would actually come to an end. Ty Dillon, that was not a great move. Well, Ty Dillon, you're the one to blame for that one, but it sucks. Feel bad for Blaney because Blaney's luck's been really bad in 2020 in the NASCAR season. He's had cars he can honestly win with, and his luck has just been really, really bad. We would go back racing right away, a couple laps into the run. Joey Gase would bring out the caution in the race. And then on the ensuing restart, Bailey Curry would stall. Yes, the Rick Rude Racing cars are back at again making stupid moves. And the caution would come out like for the 7th time in this race. And then about 10 or 20 laps later in this race, the big one would strike in this race. Matt Kenseth would get loose or have to check up on down the backstretch basically. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. checked up a little bit. Jimmy Johnson did not check up. He got into the inside of Stenhouse. Stenhouse would collateral into the inside wall. And he would go back up the racetrack. Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, Matt DiBenedetto, Ryan Preece, among others like Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick will all be involved in this crash. And this would take out all these guys out of contention in this race, which is a shame. I think Tyler Reddick could have had a pretty good day, but unfortunately, he did not end up having the day that he was supposed to have. And then we would go back racing for a few laps, and Ryan Preece would get into the outside wall. He would bring out the 9th caution of the race. And then on the ensuing restart, Chase Elliott was able to get away from guys like Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin, and Chase Elliott would go get his second stage win of the day. Went back racing, and Chris Buescher got into the outside wall. He would bring out the 10th caution of the race, and then we would go racing to about 80 or 90 laps ago, and this race would start really picking up. It would come out at the end of this race between drivers like Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Jimmy Johnson was up there as well in this race, and those four would battle for the last 50 and 60 laps. Kyle Busch is able to get around Denny Hamlin with about 60 or 70 laps to go in this race, and then Kyle Busch would drive away, but Jimmy Johnson would keep up with him. And then the caution would come out later in this race with about 50 or 60 laps to go between Kevin Harvick and Erik Jones. Kevin Harvick actually ended up cutting a tire. He went up into the outside wall, and Erik Jones, unfortunately, would get involved in this crash as well. Then we went back racing, and it turned into a really good battle between Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. It looked like Chase Elliott was about to pass for the race lead on Denny Hamlin, and then Greg Galding happened. Another Rick Rude Racing car gets into the outside wall. They would bring out the caution, which is a shame because, I'll be honest, I think Chase Elliott should have had the race lead there, but I guess he didn't get the lead before the last timing loop happened. Greg Galding would bring out that caution. Greg Galding, I like you, man, but damn it. Screw Chase out of a possible win in this race. We would then go back racing for a few laps, And the next caution would come up for Truex, Almirola, McDowell. It looks like Bubba Wallace got into the back of Eric Almirola. He would go up to the racetrack, and Truex and McDowell would both get involved, which is a shame because Truex is having a top 10 day, and Malcolm McDowell is actually having a pretty good day in this race. And then we would get into a really good battle between Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Chase Elliott for the race win. And then Denny Hamlin got a little bit loose and went up the racetrack. Logano was basically made the pass, and Chase goes to the inside. And then Denny Hamlin would end up spinning out on the front stretch, chokes this race away. BJ McCall will also get involved. This would bring out the final caution of this race. And this is where all the action picks up on the ensuing restart. The final battle race is going to be a shootout between Chase Elliott and Joey Logano for this race win. And then the craziness happened. They both get into each other. Chase gets in with about 4 or 5 to go, makes the pass. Chase on the inside with 3 laps to go. And Chase goes up the racetrack. He slams Logano into the outside wall, which would screw both of them. Chase says he cut a tire, and he might have cut a tire, but he went up and hit Logano. It looked intentional to me. Logano and Chase would be out of this race, and Brad Keselowski would take advantage of Clint Bowyer, would both take advantage. I thought Bowyer was going to have a shot to win his first race in nearly 2 years, but Bowyer was not able to catch Brad Keselowski, and Brad Keselowski wins the race, gets his second win of the 2020 season, and his 32nd career Cup Series win. There were some tempers that actually did end up flaring between Chase Elliott and Joey Logano. Logano was not a very happy driver, which I completely am not bad at Logano for being mad. That incident between Chase Elliott and Joey Logano, that was clearly Chase's fault. Logano has never right to be mad, but it's hard racing, you know. Hard racing, similar to the Kenseth incident. The Jimmy Johnson did not cause that wreck, by the way. I just wanted to point that one out. People were blaming Jimmy on that. He did not end up causing the wreck completely. Stenhouse had to check up, and it's just a check up at Bristol racing in general. And then the incident with Logano and Chase, yeah, definitely that was Chase's fault. Clearly was Chase's fault. Took Logano out of a shot to win, but Logano really wasn't a contender most of the day. He just got up there because of all these cautions coming out at the right time. He was able to drive up to the front, you know, because those fresh tires, because those guys did not pit at the end of the race. And then the incident, Chase Elliott says he'll probably apologize. Logano kind of had a childish interview after the race. But I do think that Logano's done this stuff in the past. He's raced people really hard, so he shouldn't be really mad because he had one coming to him eventually. I'm not saying what Chase is. I think Chase Elliott definitely is responsible for that wreck that did end up taking place. So, yeah, there were a lot of cautions. By the way, I don't know how a caution not come out for that incident. We still had a caution for literally someone getting outside wall, and they bring a caution out, but we're not going to bring out the caution for this. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. That's basically everything that happened in this race. So let's now look at today's race results. Brad Keselowski won the race today. Brad dominated the early portions of this afternoon's race, but he kind of fell back because he got a pit road violation, and he came back and won this thing because of some fresh tires, so congratulations to Brad on the win. Clint Bowyer gets an impressive second-place finish. Rebound race. He's kind of had an off-and-on year. Second place is a really good run for Clint Bowyer. Jimmy Johnson with a third-place finish. Like I said, Jimmy Johnson was really, really fast in this race. He had a top 5 car most of the afternoon. He couldn't get the job done, but another really strong run. Probably would finish 5th or 6th with all that commotion to happen at the end of the race. But a third-place finish, can't be mad about that. Hopefully he passes post-race inspection. Kyle Busch with a 4th-place run. He actually ended up leading the most laps he's led this year. Kyle Busch had a really strong run, got a 4th-place finish. Can't be mad about that. Another top 5 run for Kyle Busch. Eric Jones actually comes back and finishes 5th. Great run for Eric Jones. He's a top 10 car pretty much most today. 5th-place run for Eric Jones. Austin Dillon finishes 6th. Kurt Busch 7th after... Kurt Busch comes back and finishes 7th after getting damaged in that wreck. 7th-place finish. Really good run. William Byron finishes 8th. Christopher Bell with a 9th-place run. Christopher Bell, man, finally is starting to get the season rolling. He's had a really bad start to the 2020 season, and now the season's finally getting underway. He got a 9th-place finish for the rookie. I think it's his second top 10 of the year, and he's finally getting the season rolling. I think a win is going to come eventually for him. I think he's starting to really show his true form, and I think he's going to start getting good here with a team. Bubba Wallace got a top 10 for Richard Petty Motorsports. A bounce back race after his issues at the Alsco Uniforms 500, the last race he ran. 10th place run for Bubba Wallace. Kevin Harvick 11th. Ryan Preece 12th. Nemechek actually ended up finishing 13th in his race. We'll talk about him a little bit as well. John Nemechek had a top 10 car today. This guy continues to impress me. He might honestly be one of the favorites to win this Rookie of the Year, if not the favorite to some people. I think guys like Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick are starting to catch up to him, but he's been really strong this year. Shout out to John Nemechek. 14th, Michael McDowell. 15th place goes to Ryan Newman. 16th, Matt Kenseth. 17th goes to Denny Hamlin after his issues. Daniel Suarez got an 18th place finish. Great, best run he's had in that Gaunt Brothers Racing team. 18th place. Good run for that organization. 19th for Timmy Hill. NBM Motorsports got a top 20. Let's go, Timmy. 19th place finish. And Mark Truex Jr. finishes 20th. 21st, Joey Logano. 22nd, Chase Elliott. After that incident those two had. 23rd place, Chris Buescher. 24th, Brendan Poole. 25th, J.J. Yeley. 26th, Garrett Smithley. 27th, Quinn Houff. 28th, B.J. McLeod. 29th, Eric Almirola. 30th, Greg Alding. 31st place goes to Matt DiBenedetto. 32nd, Corey LaJoie. 33rd, Joey Gase. 34th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 35th place is Cole Custer. 36th, Tyler Reddick. 37th, Alex Bowman. 38th, Bailey Curley. 39th is Ty Dillon. And finishing last place in 40th place is, unfortunately, Ryan Blaney. Now let's go ahead and talk about this race. This race is really, really good. This aero package, man, it doesn't matter what aero package you run at this racetrack. Bristol is always going to put on an incredible show. The racing was fantastic. The leader really never could pull away. It looked like this was going to be a top-dominated race and a bottom-dominated race. And finally, as the race went on, both crews ended up evening out, and you had some of the best racing that we could look for. I am looking forward to Martinsville because I think that race is generally going to be one of the better races that we see this year. The racing was just so good. I mean, at the end of this race, you had a 4-car battle for the race win. Yeah, beating and banging all afternoon. Guys beating off the back bumpers. Blaney's bumper before he ended up wrecking was beat off after Stenhouse got into the back of him. There was so many crazy things that happened in this race. The bumpers came off. Everyone was just, the gloves came off, and everyone was battling it out for the win here at Bristol. Now to give you my score of the race, I'm going to give this race a 9.5 out of 10. An almost perfect race. It wasn't a complete perfect race for me. I just need a little bit more for it to be a perfect race. But a 9.5 out of 10 is my score for this race, the Supermarkets Heroes 500. And I think that this was the best race we have seen so far in the 2020 season. So, anyway, that is going to be it for this race review. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links in the description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's race. What did you think of today's race? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I have a really cool video that is coming out very, very soon. I actually am going to be doing my 2021 NASCAR Silly Season Predictions video here around the corner. So, anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's race review, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.